If you want to learn more about how you can max out your damage and health in Where Winds Meet, then this video is for you. I will be highlighting a handful of tips and tricks on how you can really max out your character, and realistically, there's a ton of very easy things you can start doing today to really just get the most out of your character and make your life a whole lot easier. This will not only help you in online content, but also solo content to help you get through some difficult bosses and just really get you through the story mode in a breeze. So let's go ahead and jump into learning more about how you can max out your damage and health in this game. So, for starters, as you kind of play this game in general, you're going to get a handful of rewards and eventually a ton of gear. This is going to be the first tip I'm going to be highlighting, and it's understanding the importance of recycling and also tuning gear. So, as you can see, as you recycle gear, you can get either currency or even some materials that are used for tuning gear. I'm going to be showcasing what tuning actually means, but again, starting at I believe level 41, as you recycle items, they'll actually give you materials that will help you tune gear. Some items that might have this purple icon call out that when they are used as tuning material, they can provide a guaranteed purple or above perk, which is huge. On blue items, for example, you can see I've got 2 perks right there. Purple items, I've got 3 perks. And through tuning, you can actually add additional perks to all of your gear to really boost up your overall DPS and health. So here's an example. Here is some of the materials you need to actually tune gear in this game. But what's interesting is you can actually use old pieces of equipment you don't need as well to actually help towards the tuning of the item. So, for example, I can use 2 random weapons like this, and it's filling up that icon on the left side, which is basically helping you reach the threshold to pick up another passive perk for each piece. So, just for testing purposes, I'm going to go ahead and remove 2 of these, and I'm going to add in my piece of gear that guarantees a purple or higher tuned affix right here. So right there, you're going to see I'm going to get some sort of additional nice perk, and then I'm going to throw in like 2 other random pieces of gear to get that additional one. So there you go. Jump strike damage bonus plus 1.1%, and then also max stone split attack. And you can do that on every single piece of gear, and it quickly boosts up damage output, physical defense, physical attack, and a little bit of everything based on how lucky you are. I do want to call out too that it's important to try to go after certain perks that go with your build. Like I've got Min Bamboo Cut attack right there, which works perfectly because I'm using dual blades. And it just really helps my overall damage output and lets me just burn through bosses a whole lot easier. Keep in mind too that the level of the gear that you recycle or use to tune other gear does impact what you get out of it. So, for example, if I am going to recycle these low level leg wraps, I'm going to get 100 coins. If I do something a little bit higher level, I'm going to get 200 coins from it. But if I start recycling gear that are at least level 41 or higher, I'm going to start getting those specific materials that you need in order to tune certain gear starting at level 41. So, again, it's a very easy way to boost up some overall stats. In case you're wondering what weapon types each of your weapons are actually under, you can go to this martial arts tab, and it's just going to call out all the different weapon types. So, for example, bamboo cut, you've got silk bind right there, you've got bell strike, and this is just helpful because as you tune your gear, you will see that you're going to get damage boosts towards certain weapon types. So, again, you're going to want to make sure that you stack where you can to get the most out of your build, whether that's being tankier with your tank weapons or dishing off more damage with your overall damage based weapons. This next tip is something that you can start doing right now, and it's very, very easy and impactful. You're going to want to go over to the Develop tab, go to Gear, and then Enhance. You can enhance every single gear slot permanently through this menu, and it's 100% worth doing. Every time you enhance this, you're boosting up your character's survivability and damage output, and all it takes is a few random materials. If you don't have a specific material, you can open a menu to show you all the different ways you can actually get them. For example, you can gather some raw ore in the open world, and it's going to show you where in the map you can actually go get it. Very, very easy. So I actually walked over to this area here. If you click V, you can actually find the materials a lot easier too. I'm going to pick these two up, and then it's still in my world map, so I can see that there's even more raw ore this direction. So just to show you guys how easy it is, I'm actually going to chase this down and pick it up and just do a live example of enhancing gear. So there we go. I've got some more raw ore, and there, we've got even more. So again, it's all very automated. You just have to move around, take a few minutes, and I guarantee you will see an impact. It's just super, super easy to enhance your character and just make it stronger. So now that we have the raw ore, we're going to go back into this menu, and just from enhancing it once, I can boost my minimum and maximum physical attack from my left hand weapon. I can do this for every single slot and boost my HP, damage output, defense, and everything across the board for my character. To make your life a little bit easier, I do recommend you check out all the different merchants that sell some of these materials. For example, if I wanted raw ore, I can buy a stack of 99 of these for just 100 coins each. Coins are just everywhere. I've got almost 800k just by exploring the world. So again, you can get these very, very fast and easy. Also, this is a weekly cooldown, so I do recommend that you pick up these materials as soon as you can if you need them. So now that I've got some more raw ore, I can go ahead and just keep enhancing and take a look at my martial mastery on the left just skyrocket just by buying some simple cheap materials and enhancing things across the board. Again, super, super easy and very, very impactful. If you made it this far in the video, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It really, really does help me out and just tells me that it's actually worth making this type of content. Okay, let's jump back into it. As you continue to gather more and more gear, you might see that some pieces of gear have requirements like a certain amount of constitution, and it's actually very, very easy to get constitution and a handful of other rewards, and it's simply by taking down these different forts that you're going to see throughout the world map. So for example, every time you take one down for the first time, you get 5 constitution, then a handful of other first clear rewards that are definitely worth doing. Plus, you can pick up some other goodies if you want to spend some energy just to pick them up as well. But again, every time you see one of these forts, you're going to want to stop what you're doing and actually do it because you want the additional constitution just to make your life a little bit easier in all the different battles. Something to make your life a whole lot easier too when you're actually doing these fort fights are sneaking up to some enemies and clicking F like this just to basically one-hit KO a ton of these. Again, there's going to be a handful of different mobs you have to take down. I think it's typically around 12 of these guys in order to actually get the rewards, and you might as well just speed through it as quickly as possible. So again, sneak up and do that F move just to make things a little bit easier for you. The other thing I wanted to call out is that there's typically some explosion barrels, so use these for your advantage. Basically lead the enemies into the barrels just to blow them up and just make it way faster. As you can see, I just killed 2 mobs like that in basically a few seconds just because I was able to position them in the right spot to blow them up. Did you know that you can also craft a bow and a thumb ring directly in the game just to boost your stats even more? If I open my world map, I'll show you exactly where I'm at, but there are a few other locations. I'll zoom out a little bit. So you want to go to this location and gather a handful of materials, and you can actually start crafting some of these different items. Again, if you love the bow and want some additional stats, this is a way to kind of boost it up a little bit rather than crossing your fingers and hoping for a drop. I'm going to go ahead and actually craft one of these rings though, and I'm gonna make sure I do the level 41 for the gear level just to make sure I get the best item possible. I'll craft this, You do have a 10% chance of getting like a really good epic piece. Of course, I did not hit it, but once you craft it, you can go into your inventory and take a look at what you actually got. So this is my current one, and then if I take a look at my crafted one, it's a little bit less, but I can see it's got that purple icon. So I mean, I might as well use this to tune gear down the road just to boost my overall character even more with some great perks. And that really covers it. Now you have a handful of tips and tricks on what you can start doing today to boost your overall character's power when it comes to DPS, health, defense, and a little bit of everything. If you found this video helpful, consider giving it a like and also subscribing, and let me know in the comments below if you enjoy this Where Worlds Meet content. If you do, I'll continue making some helpful guides like this down the road. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.